HorrorDeconstruction.
What's up, everybody? It's the HorrorDeconstruction. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, but most likely on YouTube. Give us a like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell icon. Hit that share, subscribe button with your host, Komp and
Pilot Devornian.
Today's film is
Bloodthirsty 2020, the year that was last year.
Bloodthirsty 2020. Gray is an indie singer who is having visions that she is a wolf. Really? They said that? When she gets into an invitation to work with notorious music producer Vaughn Daniels at his remote studio in the woods, she begins to find out who she really is. Directed by Amelia Moses, written by Wendy Hill Tout and Lowell. Starring Lauren Beatty, Greg, yeah, that's the musician, I guess. Lauren Beatty, Greg Burke, and Catherine King So. So, why did you pick Bloodthirsty?
Well, I read...
It's on Shudder, right?
Yeah, it's on Shudder, and I read a couple of nice things about it. So
you gotta wonder what, like, with Shudder, right? Because I think it's actually pretty good. The service.
I love Shudder.
It's only like $56 a year or something like that.
I think I pay like $6 a month or something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
And it's so funny because then I'll go on to there's like weird issues or rights with films that are like on certain like subscription services. So
Right.
I was trying to remember like what movies I've seen in the past so I can review them. And then I was just going through Tubi, which is a free service, and Bloodthirsty was on it. And I was like, what's going on? Because I realized a lot of these companies...
Maybe
like,
Tubi pays Shudder?
No. It's the movie companies themselves. They just like release it free, and I guess Shudder must think that people are dumb and they can't find it somewhere else. But that happens a lot.
Yeah, but
it's
also
very weird.
Tubi has ads and stuff.
That's true. So that's probably what you're not paying for. I mean, what you're paying to not see our ads.
Yeah.
So why did you pick Bloodthirsty again?
Because I don't know. Why not?
It has an attractive poster, I guess. I thought it was a vampire movie.
I mean,
it's just,
we don't really do a lot of werewolf movies either.
Yeah, it's weird because like last week, I screwed you over, and then this week you certainly screwed me over.
I mean, I wouldn't say this is comparable to that.
Well, that one's better than this one to me.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you. But anyway, let's see how distinctive our likes and dislikes with this film. So, Danny, why don't you tell us what Bloodthirsty is about?
It's basically like those other two movies that like the ones you pointed out.
Well, you got to bring them up for people that obviously don't listen to our show.
The Wild, Into the Wild, and
Into the Wild. That's about a guy. That's about a guy who leaves the city to go to the country, and he dies of starvation. That's like a different movie. I know
okay.
We did a previous female werewolf movie, not Ginger Snaps. That was good. We did Ginger Snaps 1 and 2, which were actually very good movies.
Those are great movies.
Unfortunately, I guess the third
film... There was a
film...
Norwegian one about this girl who, like, works on a boat or something. I forget what it's called. We'll write it after.
It was very boring, and
she becomes like a wildling or something, like she's some kind of animal.
Right, and then there's another movie called Wilding too, right? The one about the girl who was like a wolf one too?
And it's with Brad Dourif and...
You're talking about a separate one that you just mentioned,
I'm talking
right?
about two separate movies.
Right,
and the girl basically is Brad Dourif's daughter she's a creature that he adopted and keeps human using medicine or something. And this is basically the same thing, but this is better than those.
I think we're saying that they're all pretty bad except for Ginger Snaps. But there's
Ginger Snaps is nothing like those movies.
Yeah, but it's still a woman turning into a werewolf type of film.
Yeah, but it's like a proper werewolf movie. This is like okay. This movie's okay.
Nah, I don't think so. So this girl is Gray, right? I guess Lowell is a songwriter that wrote the music for the film. But I don't know if the actress Lauren Beatty is singing.
I thought she was, but it sounds like this Lowell person from what I'm looking at.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what's going on voice-wise. Either way, it's a nice voice, but like as I was watching,
music,
right? It's not music that I would necessarily go for. This is like music you listen to when you're at a coffee shop. You know what I mean? It's that very deceptively deep lyrics, I guess. And none of the lyrics on this sounded very deep to me. It sounded pretty like I don't want to insult Lowell, but I wasn't into the lyrics on it because it's like they said, okay, Lowell, go write a song about a woman turning into a werewolf. teeth gnashing, teeth coming out, bite you bloodthirsty. And I was like, oh boy, like, what the hell? Can't you say something else instead? But it's still serviceable music.
You should have written the movie Alice, since you're so great.
It would have been like clown horn honking music and shit. But I think with the music, because the music is a big focus on it, because it's about this woman who she's afraid of her sophomore album being bad, so she meets up with this notorious producer whose previous protege passed.
And was a murderer, possibly.
Right. It's very Phil Spector-ish. If you know who Phil Spector is, he's that famous music producer that...
He's creepy looking.
Well, he's even more creepy looking because he's dead. But...
Well, good for that.
So he apparently was playing with his gun and shot this woman who was a guest at his house. I don't know how the fuck... I guess people...
Very Dick Cheney.
I guess it is very easy to shoot people. But anyway, Dick Cheney got away with it, but Phil Spector didn't.
Got away with a lot.
So yeah, this guy is that type of person. But like, I always wonder, like, with this type of music, like, because this seems like the music that the director wanted to hear and put in this type of movie. You know, whenever we see a horror trailer, now they'll put like a female solo singer version of like a metal song or something. Like, there's like, it's just like, that's what this music sounds like. I remember specifically the Last House on the...
Well, these things go in like waves. And
right,
trends,
but I mean, this has been going on since Last House on the Left remake, so that was a long time ago, and that was like, they did Sweet Child of Mine, you know, by Guns N' Roses. Yeah. And it was just
I really don't like that song.
I like that song. But it was like a really pretty version. I was like, I don't know. Why wouldn't, I would love to see this type of movie, like, but if they did it with like a Cardi B, and she's just like, she's being haunted and she's singing about like big tits and ass pussy. And sucking dicks.
Wait,
and wet
her?
pussy.
Wet ass pussy? Cardi
yeah, that's her.
Okay.
Remember, there's some people that believe that wet ass pussy is a bad thing.
Yeah, because they can't get their wives wet. We're looking at you, Ben.
But that's not true. You gotta make sure that the pussy is not that wet. It has to be nice.
You gotta talk a lot faster than that.
Squeeze
your balls. Squeeze your balls and go.
So let's get into the characters. As Lauren Beatty as Grace, she's pretty serviceable, I guess. I mean, I thought all these characters...
I think they're all good actors.
I gotta be honest, when I was watching this, I could not stand the dialogue in this movie. It was so like...
Yeah, it's a little pretentious.
It was like... It's not even pretentious. It just feels like it was lifted out of Lifetime movies. Like... They used it seems like they watched every other movie in the world and they just clipped that dialogue and to put it in here, because it's the biggest, like, Greg Burke, who plays Vaughn Daniels. I think he's good, but they didn't give him enough good shit to do with the guy who plays the producer. He has a great look to him.
He's very good at being a creep.
Yeah, he's great. He has a great look to him. He looks like he walked out of a fucking X-Men movie at some points, because he has that big coat, like, and he's got blood all over his face, and he looks cool as fuck.
I used to have a coat like that. I loved that.
I used to have one like that too.
And it fell apart. Like, it just came apart at the seams.
You were like the Jewish Candyman. Mm-hmm. Like, it would have been nice. Instead
of a hook, I had a dreidel, and I would stab people with it.
So with this, like, Greg Burke is great, but they just give him such, like, I knew this movie was in trouble, for me at least, is when it's like, this is a movie about a girl who's trying to be I don't know what producers do. I've never sat and really seen what a producer does when they produce music. I only see them behind the glass telling the musician to do shit over and over, which happens here. But I guess
I think it depends. It's
right. No, I'm sure there's more than that.
A lot of producers really are, like, essential and guide
obviously,
the work.
yeah. So in this movie, I was like almost willing to see what. And this isn't a movie about producing an album, but it would have been nice if it looked more realistic than this shit that you would see in any movie. Because she's like, "Oh, I don't know what I'm doing," and the sage advice he says is, "You got to be different. You got to look inside." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "That doesn't sound realistic. It sounds like." You know what it sounds like? It's like if they were making a movie about fucking Elton John, and then they had like 5 seconds to show that he had a producer. That's what they would show. So there's no. Right. It feels
like in Rocky when he's like, "Come on, Rocky, you can do it." Whatever.
What I gotta do?
Get up, Rocky.
What I gotta do? You gotta punch him. And they're like, "Oh, okay," and then that's it. You know what I mean? That's about as deep as anything in this movie gets. It's like A Star Is Born meets.
I don't know. I feel bad. I feel like they tried.
No, I believe so too. Like, it's not like it's easy.
It's not like terrible.
It's not. No. It's not an easy effort to make a fucking movie. Like, no question about it. It's just this one didn't work for me. The cinematography is fucking gorgeous. Like, everything.
And the acting is good in my opinion.
Yeah, no, the acting's fine. Like, the look of it and everything's fine. Like, even her girlfriend.
It's just the script isn't good.
Like, her girlfriend Charlie, who comes in, who's like the smoking hot chick. and like, and it's no big deal that they're like a lesbian couple, so that's cool. And I knew as soon as I saw her, I was like, this chick is like, she's dead. Like, she's not coming out of this movie alive.
You knew she was gonna.
You know that's gonna happen. You know, like as soon as this character walks into the room, it's not even really a spoiler because that's how the movie is.
I didn't know that that Gray was gonna be the one to kill her though.
Yeah, I know. Because they did a red herring. Because then you see Vaughn with the blood all over his mouth too, and all that shit. And it was nice seeing Michael Ironside collecting a check. He's just taking...
I was like, how do I know this guy? How do I know this guy? It was so cool.
They should have shown him get on an elevator and accidentally fall out while an Austrian guy yells at him and his arms gets torn off. And he goes, "See you at the party, Richter!" Anyway.
He's like fighting giant bugs.
Yeah, that's true, that too. Oh, he's been in a lot of good movies.
He's in a lot of stuff.
If you want to see a recent movie that was good with him, go see Turbo Kid. It's like Hobo with a Shotgun, but like a weird 80s type of thing.
That one has been on my list forever.
Yeah, it's an interesting movie. It's a fun movie. So, and then there's also the old lady of the house who is like the henchman, the Renfield for Vaughn Daniels.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's the Renfield. Or
yeah, I guess. I mean, she's the one serving this guy.
Is she trying to become.
Yeah, but I mean, is she really like? Because like the girl who gets picked up by her, hitchhiking, and the lady says, "You better get out." I was like, Danny, would you get scared of like a 70-year-old woman saying that to you in the middle? I'd be like, "Oh yeah," and then just grab her up, pull out of the car, and then just drive the car up. Like, who cares?
Yeah, but he would still get her.
No, but I'm saying the lady in the car, like she could have just got into the car and just drove off. I mean, it just didn't.
Yeah, but the werewolf would have still got her.
And then why was she attacking? Why was she shooting at Gray at the end? If Gray, I thought that was.
I didn't understand.
I thought that was a neat actual reveal that Gray was Vaughn's daughter. I guess I just thought he was a random werewolf that could sense that she was a werewolf or something. But I guess in the description they say she dreams of being like a regular wolf. But I mean, I don't know. To me,
it was a cool take on werewolves in the sense that they didn't need a full moon to do it.
I wish that they had gotten. If everything didn't feel so fucking flat, like the dialogue and everything and the character stuff was so flat.
It didn't feel flat to me. It just felt like forced. Like they tried to be, deep and stuff, but it didn't work.
Yeah, I think what they did is they relied too much on the visuals to make it, feel like it's more than it is. Because like the part where he tells her to run at the beginning, and he said, "I want you to run until you can't run anymore," and then he's right behind her. I was like, okay, that's cool. But like as soon as I wouldn't be so frightened. Do you know what I mean? Because I would just think, okay, he was just running behind me this whole time. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be like, oh, how did you do that? Oh my god! It's like,
oh my god! You sound like John Travolta. No,
oh my
Tony
god!
Danza? Wait, which one?
No,
I always get them confused. Isn't that weird?
It's oh my god, Mr. Gotta. That's what's his name.
Yeah.
But so I mean, I don't know if there's much really to say about this. It's not that gore. It is gory, I guess, when you see a lot of like after blood effects and stuff like that. But like the werewolf. Oh, we'll get to the werewolf part. But like the contact lenses look cool. Like Vaughn Daniels looks great. But that werewolf transformation, oh boy! Imagine if they American Werewolf in London, but everybody left the set and they just left the actor to do it by himself with like like shit that you like the popsicle.
That's one of the best transformations.
The popsicle sticks, yeah, of course, yeah. People still love it. Also, and the same thing with the Howling. Like those two guys were like switched to make those. The guy who did the special effects for Werewolf in London was supposed to do it for the Howling, and they both came out pretty good. But the Howling doesn't get as much, respect. I guess it does, but it isn't as beloved because obviously, fucking Werewolf in London is a fucking great movie. But yeah the effects for her changing into werewolf are obviously trying to mimic that. They even have the little hand with the nails coming out, and it's just like, geez.
That was okay. I didn't mind the hand stuff. It was the faces that I didn't like.
Yeah, they turned to like dog people and stuff like that, but like really cheap dog people, like if they didn't finish the makeup. I don't know. For me, I felt like the movie was really thin. I wish they had gotten actually a little bit more into the song. They do a lot of like song production.
The music
stuff
was actually not bad.
Like, no, the music's not horrible.
I mean, it's not my thing at all. But
they could have They could have done a lot worse with this music. This is like inoffensive.
I've seen movies with like bad music in it, like that. They're the person is a musician and they'll make like a terrible song.
Yeah, this could have been like a really bad music, but it's like inoffensive. You know what I mean? It's not like Like, take it whether you like it or not, but like, say, people either really like or really hate Queen of the Damned. You know
Yeah.
because it had like a whole new metal soundtrack. I fucking love that soundtrack, but people be like, this is the worst music ever. But I disagree.
I did not like that movie.
So, well, having read the book, I agree. I thought there was like
the book is so much better. But then again, the book is better than Interview also. So I don't know.
When you see that movie, you're just going for the soundtrack. It's nothing more than that. So I mean, with this film, was there any super positives that you liked about the movie?
It was good acting and like good filming. It was just a stupid script. And,
it's pretty bad. Another thing that bugged me with the writing at the beginning, there's like Gray is like running away from a photo shoot, and there's a reporter walking after her. And he's like, can you tell us about your relationship, whatever? And she goes, I don't want to talk about it. The people demand to know. It's like, what? It's like, it's one guy. If it was like 20 reporters, I guess they didn't have the budget for it. If it was like 50 reporters following her. But this is like one guy. You know what I mean? It's just one guy going, the people demand to know. They should have just really
gotten like the film crew to throw in some shirts and watch.
You think one reporter, right, who's interviewing this girl who had a great hit album and she's doing the second album, he's gonna like hit her with hard hitting questions? It's not gonna be about like, who cares? It's so stupid. It's like just to get off of like the music business and how goofy it is. Like Kanye West had a third album listening. Had a third album listening party or something like that, right? And then he got this whole thing where he burnt himself on stage, and then he also like this happened this week, I guess. And he married Kim Kardashian. I only know this because I go on Twitter and I read like the news there.
I thought he was already married.
They divorced and then he's remarried to her. But then this is the best part. While he was on stage, you gotta listen. You're gonna love this part, Daddy, because people got really upset about this. He was with the rapper DaBaby, who I think had like problem. I think he said something homophobic. I'm not sure. He said something, whatever. So they're standing on stage trying to look cool, and then you know who else they had on stage standing with them? Take a guess. Take a guess.
Trump?
No, it was Marilyn Manson. So.
Oh really? Okay.
So Marilyn Manson standing there, and they look like the worst like rap metal group of all time. They just stand there looking like
the story
so
I
funny.
remember reading about Kanye, and I actually watched a video of it, and I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I know it. This is great. Go ahead.
So basically he's having a concert, and he tells everybody to stand up, and a couple people aren't standing, and he singles out somebody who's not standing, and like everybody's in the stadium is looking at this person. He has the security go over the person to make them stand, and the person was handicapped and couldn't stand. But then this is the crazy part. So that's already bad enough. Then, like, his next concert, like, a few days later, he does the same thing, and it happens again. It's another handicapped person.
I will say, though, I saw the video because then you see him actually realize it on stage, and it's pretty funny.
But he does it twice. like, within days of each other.
So, yeah, I think the thing is with, like, there are people who go beyond,
this
like...
is a person who's... whatever. All right.
Yeah, so that character... Yeah, I know.
Movie.
So I was just trying to return to the idea that Gray is not that style of artist. She's sort of realistic, but she's super nervous. She was brought up in the foster home, and I guess she comes from a long line of werewolf people, and that's it. It didn't work for me. I thought it was flat. I thought it looked great, but that wasn't enough for me.
So what, like, Vaughn, like, probably... was dating her mom.
He killed her mom. Her mom was the one that died. So, and then the mother, which was bizarre because he says, your mother had you, but I didn't know she gave you away. I was like, wouldn't you know? Like, she's because she said that the baby died. But, like, wouldn't you know? Like, all right, whatever. There's more genius writing.
Who knows?
What rating? I'll give this movie a 4 out of 10. I know that sounds pretty bad. I don't know. A 5. Okay, a 5 out of 10. Having a hot girlfriend instead of being bloodthirsty, you should be butt thirsty. You know what I'm saying, guys?
Vag thirsty.
That's pretty good. We're in big trouble. We're in big trouble. Go ahead, Danny. What rating would you give Bloodthirsty 2020?
I give this movie a 6 out of 10.
It's not so different.
Yeah, no. Well, 6 is fine.
We're not so different, you and I. Go ahead. That's
I give it a 6 out of 10. An old lady is trying to shoot at you and takes like a full minute to reload a gun as you slowly back over her, and she doesn't move out of the way.
That old lady was pretty proficient. Like she knocked her out the first. Oh no, she didn't knock her out the first time.
Yeah, but the old lady took so long between shots. It's like, what are you doing, old lady?
Update your weaponry. You know what I mean? Anyway, with that,
what is she like using like a hand load gun? Like you have to use the stick.
It would have been better if the old lady like started like pull out of her bag like a wishbone and was waving it around, and it made Gray run out of the car and all right, very top comedy on the show. With that, Danny, what's the final word?
Independence Day is a movie.
The HorrorDeconstruction.